Hi, welcome to the channel. In today's video, I am going to be talking about how I manage to save money in order to do the things I want, including building my house back in the Dominican Republic, which I bought cash, and constructing the house with which I have been doing little by little with the money I'm able to save. I'm so happy it is Monday and I'm working. Okay, so I'm excited for today's video because I'm going to be talking a little bit about how I budget, how I manage to save money. It's either to do things that I want or that I have previously done, etc. So I want to share this with you because I know out there's people that think that it's not possible, that they don't see a way out, that how am I going to achieve this, how am I going to buy a house or a land, or how I'm going to buy my first car, things like that. Of course, it's changing that mentality that you have of negativity and open your mind to new things. That's the first thing, but that's not all. Unfortunately, it's not just about manifesting what you want, it's about taking action towards the things that you want. I want to clarify that because I have seen a lot of people that are there saying manifest, da, 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 but they don't talk about the action. Take action, because if you don't take action, it doesn't matter how you're going to manifest. It's not going to come to reality. Wake up. Okay, that's clear. So first, I want to talk about the things I did in order to take control of this thing called finances and cash and money, because it's difficult. So let's get started. I was tired to live paycheck to paycheck. Every time I got paid, I remember I thought to myself that I have money and that I could spend it on a lot of things. But guess what? When the end of the month comes, I was just like that, of not being able to pay all my bills, because guess what? Mrs. Saura spent her money on disparate, on, tú sabes, disparate, and she had no money to do the things that she's supposed to be doing. And then there I was with a 2016 Infinity with no money to put gas. Yeah, that was my life back then. Unfortunately, I have to be honest and transparent so that you don't think I pretend to be something I am not, because it's not like that. I come from that mentality that you have to look rich, that you don't need to be rich in order to look rich. And that is true, because you do not need to be rich to look rich. But of course, you're going to look rich and have your poor bank account on, negatives all the time. So we don't want that. First, I said to myself, I had to do something that worked. So the first thing that came to my mind was doing research. Google is there. So I was, let me see what I can do. How to fix my finances. Went right in. And the first thing that came up was budgeting. So you know what? I dedicate a lot of time to learning how to budget. And that's how I managed to save $5,000 in my first try. It took me a long time. If you have seen my previous video, I am pretty sure I have mentioned that on those videos. So just go little by little, watch my videos so you can see. Budgeting is hard, especially if you don't know nothing about budgeting. You could feel like you are working and you don't see the results. When you budget, you established a goal for yourself. And even though it's hard and you really have to keep you're focused on the things that you're doing, you know that is going to be worth it. Even though you feel like shit sometimes, because you're like, what the heck, I'm budgeting. I am limiting myself, blah, blah, blah. But you know what you're doing. You know. So how do you budget? Like, Isaura, you're talking too much and you're not saying anything about nothing. So get into it. Budgeting. You start with your income. So you want to list down all the incomes that you have, right? And then you go down and list all your expenses. When you list all your expenses, you have to really list all your expenses. So if you have a membership at the gym, if you're paying storage for your car, if you're paying storage for something that you have to list everything. I see people that they only list the essential. So who's going to pay the gym membership, or who's going to pay the garage? When I said list your expenses, you have to list all your expenses. Please, please, okay? All right. So is that clear? Okay, thank you. After you list all your expenses, rent, car insurance, phone, internet, cable, whatever you pay, subscriptions, all of the things that you pay, you're going to add all that and you're going to compare that with what your income is. If your expenses exceed your income, we have a problem. We have a problem because we have a problem. Or you cut off all your subscriptions and all that, or you are going to be miserable for the rest of your life because I bet that you're putting the rest on credit. We don't gonna work like that here. So let me tell you how it's done. Start cutting off all the things that are not essential. Your essentials are rent, food to survive, maybe your phone, maybe your phone, water, electricity. Those are essentials. The rest is wants. Now, I know some people that they need transportations like their car, pay their insurance, and have some money there in order to put it for gas and stuff like that. So, all those things you are going to list. You have a lease car, finance car. I don't want to get too deep into that, but leasing a car is not a great idea. Financing a car, it's a good idea if you don't have the money right away to purchase the car and you need the car either to work or to transport yourself because you live in an area that you need to have a car. Try to get something affordable. Don't tell me that with a minimum salary you're going to be getting a Jeep or a Mercedes or a BMW, because that doesn't work like that. It's not going to work. Guys, be realistic. And remember that you're not trying to show off. You're trying to build wealth. Forget about what people say. Okay, let's continue. So, after you list all your expenses, which I already said, what are those? Compare, cut expenses if you need to, or you can actually get some side hustle or an extra job to help you pay those bills that you are over. Now, what is my recommendation? My recommendation is to cut in the bills, because there's so much shit that we pay that we don't realize that we're wasting our money on that it's unbelievable. Once you sit down and see all the things that you are paying for, you yourself are going to be like, what the heck I'm doing? Go back to that. Sit down and make sure those are your essentials. Why? Because you want to have some extra money for what we talk about, the things that you want. And this is how you start. Manifestation is not going to work on canceling your subscriptions. Manifesting, don't cancel that. Trust me. Okay, thank you. That's why I have Apple Card, because I be disputing everything I see there, even a penny. I don't care. Anyways, so let's keep going. You want to have your finances in order. So expenses, income, compare, see the areas that you can cut off and cut them off. Next, we go to the next box, is setting money aside for the things that you want. Even if it's $1 that you have extra at the end of the month, that dollar is gonna go to something else. It could be, they call it sinking funds. That's what I have, sinking funds. In the sinking funds, you put other stuff, other categories, like what? Emergency, saving for kids, doing your nails every month, saving for construction or to purchase a car cash, anything. Sinking fund is just something there in case of, because something always come up. It could be maintenance, it could be all of that. The next phase is actually sticking to the budget, because it doesn't matter how many times you build a budget. If you don't keep track of your budget, you are going to go back to zero. You're going to have to start back again. I don't care if people call me crazy, but I go through my budget sometimes every single day. Oh yeah. Yes, because I need to see where my money is going. Yes, I need to see where my money is going. But usually I keep track of my budget every week, since I get paid multiple times per week and also every week. So it's important for me to see where my money is actually going, which takes me to the next topic, is cash stuffing. A lot of people are against this. I was one of those people that were like, taking money out of the bank, blah blah blah. But then I remember that my first cash challenge, I did it with actual cash, because it kept me on track. I avoided using my debit card, because when you have the money there, it is so easy to just transfer and do the shit that you want. And it is so easy because everything you see and you want, you think is a priority or an emergency, when it's not like that. So I went back to cash stuffing, which I'm probably going to be sharing a little more in here, so you learn how I do the cash stuffing. And of course, that way you get inspired too. I do it on my Instagram in Spanish. And this is another thing I'm going to put out here. My Instagram is in Spanish because I have a whole other community that I'm trying to build on Instagram. So probably I'm not going to be linking my Instagram on this on my channel right here. I'm probably going to make another Instagram for that because it could be a little confusing. I know people go from here to my Instagram and they think they're going to hear me speak English, but the reality is that no. Oh, I'm sorry about that, but yeah. So I am going to cash off in because I love that. I love to see my money and I love to know that in my bank account is only going to be the things that I really need. And I do have credit cards, guys. Yes, I use them on my app, on my phone, etc. But it's mostly for my business. With this being said, I already said sticking to the budget, making the budget, and being realistic, and getting side hustles if you need to. But please don't get a side hustle to increase your expenses, because I know some people, they get side hustles because they want to support an expensive lifestyle, which it's not going to work. So what I suggest you to do is, if you are going to get a side hustle, first cut your expenses. It's not hard. Go through all the subscriptions that you have, all the things that you pay that could be cut off, and you can also try to get services that are cheaper but that are good services as well, so that you can have some money left out of those bills. Don't get a side hustle if it's to keep the same lifestyle that you're going through right now. It's not worth it. After you have all that, also is very important for you to set short-term goals. The short-term goals is going to really increase that momentum on the things that you're doing, because you're seeing progress in a short period of time. And then you can also set your long-term goals, which are like, if you have kids, saving some money for their college, or if you want to purchase a house in a few years, you can save money for that. Like things like that, a vacation in a year, things like that. That's something that you can also save for. When you set goals, that keeps you motivated. And I think this video is going longer than usual, so I just want to tell you guys that everything you put in your mind is achievable, because if you can imagine, you can create it. But without action, you're not going to be able to achieve absolutely nothing in life. It is important for you to take action first, to have everything written down. What do you want from your life? Make every second of your life count, and make all of your dollars have an assignment so that it can help you grow. Because if you don't give your dollars an assignment, you're going to feel like you can spend your money whatever you want, and that is not the case. That's not what we are going to try to build here in the channel. With this being said, thank you so much for staying to the end of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It's free, and you can help my channel so much by doing this. Leave a comment, whatever comments you have, and I see you in the next video. Bye.